Hello and welcome to Shooting the Bull on NRN, the No Bull Racing Network. I'm Justin and Happy New Year, the first broadcast of 2018. And I'm excited to be welcoming the new year with you. We have a lot to catch up on because it's been a pretty busy off season for the most part, and a lot has happened since the racing ended in Homestead. But first, we start in Daytona. This weekend is the Roar of the 24. The teams that will be competing in the 24 Hours of Daytona have taken to the track for the first time this year, and they're going to test their cars for the race at the end of the month. And there's going to be a lot of talented drivers in the field this year. It is a packed field, and I'm super excited. In fact, I'm so damn excited that I have been trying all day to talk myself into driving to Daytona just to watch the race that weekend. I mean, I know that would be crazy just to drive down there to watch the race for the weekend, but I've been trying to talk myself into it. Maybe better yet, I've been trying to talk myself out of it so that I don't go. I went on the website today, and I think I saw that tickets were only like $40 at the door. I mean, I saw something like it was like $100 some to buy like 4 days of it. Of course, I don't want to go down there for 4 days. But I think I saw that if you go to the track that day and go up to the door, I think it's like $40 to get in to watch the racing. But I think it's only like 6 hours. I don't know how they enforce that, because I think it said like $40 gets you 6 hours. It's basically from the start of the race to 12 a.m. And then you have to leave after 12 a.m. But I don't know how they would enforce that. I mean, do they come over the PA and be like, all right, everyone who's not supposed to be here past 12 a.m., please leave? But $40 isn't that much. I mean, of course, you have to pay for the gas to get down there. But once I got down there, that's not a whole lot of money. I mean, that's way cheaper than going to a NASCAR race. So it's been $40. I guess it'd be $80 total, though, because you'd have to pay to watch the first 6 hours of the race on Saturday, and then you'd have to come back on Sunday and pay another $40 to see the last 6 hours. So you only really see 12 hours of racing, but you'd have to sleep anyway. Which, what would I do? I mean, would I get a hotel? I don't really want to get a hotel, so I guess I could just sleep in the car in the parking lot and listen to the race on the radio or something like that. I mean, as miserable as that would be, but I don't even know how far it is to Daytona. I mean, let me get my smartphone here. I mean, how far? Daytona International Speedway. Let's just see how far it is. Directions. And 7 hours. 7 hours and 554 miles. That's like going the Daytona 500 there, plus 54 extra miles. 7 hours and 50 minutes to drive there. So drive 7 hours and 50 minutes to watch cars drive about 12 hours at the time, and then drive 7 hours, almost 8 hours back. I don't know, but I mean, damn. I mean, I'd really like to go to that race, but I don't know who I could get to go with me. It might just be me. I mean, would that be worth it going down there by myself? I don't know. Fernando Alonso. Y'all know him. Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso turned his first laps today. He's going to be competing in the 24 Hours of Daytona. And I guess it's because he's getting bored with Formula One. I mean, he must be, because he ran Indy last year. And now he's doing this. I mean, Le Mans is next. I mean, you got to know that eventually Fernando Alonso is going to want to run Le Mans, especially if he has fun during the Daytona race, the 24 Hours of Daytona. I mean, and who knows? After Le Mans, he might even be like, "What the hell? Let me try NASCAR and run the Daytona 500." But I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll go as far to run the Daytona 500. And I think that that's actually probably because of Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo probably scared off a lot of drivers from the IndyCar circuit and F1 from coming over and trying something like NASCAR. I mean, let's face it, Juan Pablo was terrible at NASCAR. He was really bad. But hey, he'll be in the 24-hour race too. And he'll be with Team Penske. That's right, Team Penske is fielding a car. And just listen to a few of the names they'll have on their team. These names will sound familiar to you. Helio Castroneves, big fan. Simon Pagenaud, I like that last name, Pagenaud. Simon Pagenaud. And Juan Pablo Montoya. They'll be in an Acura racing for Team Penske. Team Penske going over to the sports car series. And Jeff Gordon, I think, is expected to compete in the race as well this year. Gordon won the race last year, I believe. That's right, in a Cadillac. If I'm certain, Gordon won that race. So maybe he'll try and defend his title by winning him another one. But I was actually kind of shocked at this. Big news of the day out of Daytona was actually Scott Pruitt. He announced that he'll be hanging up his helmet after the race. That's right. Scott Pruitt, the 2018 24 Hours of Daytona will be his last race. And that's pretty big because he's had a long career in sports car racing. You know, he was another driver who tried NASCAR for a bit and it wasn't very good, but he's a very good sports car racer. So not having him in the field will be rather weird because I'm so used to him being there. But Scott Pruitt finally calling it a career at the end of the month. But I have no idea what to expect out of this race at the end of the month. I mean, good luck trying to predict a 24-hour endurance race. And but you know, I think Alonso will do well. Alonso is a world-class driver, and they talk like he's one of the best drivers in the world. He's a multiple winner of the Formula One World Championship. He should have like 5 or 6 of them by now. But you know, he's really good, so he'll do well in the car. I think he'll do. The prototypes seem to favor Formula One drivers. They must be somewhat similar. So, you know, I think he'll do well in that. Will he win? I don't know. I think Penske may struggle, though. And, you know, I mean, I'm a big Penske fan. I don't hide the fact that I love Roger Penske. But I think he's going to struggle a bit, that team. And part of it is just they had a ton of trouble during the 10-hour race in Atlanta, the 10 hours of the Petit Le Mans. I mean, they just struggled. I mean, they had a good finish, but, man, they were up and down, and they're all over the place. And maybe it's just because Juan's on the team. I'm not expecting too much. I'm not expecting much since he's on the team. Juan Pablo. I don't know. But I'll be pulling for them, of course, because it's Penske, and that's cool. I'm also hoping, though, that Catherine Legg will have a good run. She's going to be racing again for Michael Shank in an Acura. Beautiful-looking car. If you haven't seen that paint scheme, check it out. In fact, I'll throw up a picture. Beautiful car. Michael Shank Racing, Catherine Legg. I'm a big fan. I got a soft spot for Catherine Legg. Great driver. And she's beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, in other news, America has finally somehow managed to ruin Formula One. Who'd have thunk it? Liberty Media, has been pissing off both Mercedes and Ferrari this holiday season with rule changes. In fact, Ferrari has threatened to quit and straight up walk away from Formula One forever. Said they would go start their own league. My league will be better than your league, said the prancing pony. They threatened to take their ball and go home. I don't blame them, though. I mean, to me, it seems like Liberty is trying to make Formula One like NASCAR. When you read about everything they're trying to do and what they're trying to turn Formula One into, they're trying to turn it into this spectacle like NASCAR. And I just have to ask, is that because NASCAR is so successful? I mean, NASCAR is shit compared to what was in the 90s. It is not what it used to be. It's a damn circus. It's corny and it's cheesy. I mean, I still watch every Sunday. I can't not watch NASCAR. But, I mean, it is not how I remember it. And I find myself thinking about the races before maybe 2005. From the time I started watching it to the races that I read about before I started watching it to the races that I've been watching now, I think it was so much better before maybe 2005. But F1's doing it. They're going to the 3-engine rule. They're going to start putting restrictions on the engine and the cars and what they can do, and the teams can only use 3 engines during the season. And this is to help the smaller budgeted teams. I mean, and it would be awesome. It would be awesome if this worked. It would be awesome to see Haas F1 win a race. Because that team's probably never going to win a race. And I do get bored with watching Lewis Hamilton win every race weekend. I mean, the only way he doesn't win is if he really screws up the start, or if he gets taken out, or if he blows something. But most of the time, it's just him winning in his Mercedes. And, you know, and it does get boring watching that. But at the same time, that's racing. And that's where NASCAR went wrong. I mean, because, listen, they wanted to make it to where every team could win. But the goal of racing to me is showing up to the track with what you think is fast and seeing how it do. If it goes out and totally kicks ass, great. If you suck, hey, then come back to the track next week with something faster. That's racing. It promotes creativity and solid engineering. Not all this, the cars have to be the same BS. Like going to, I don't know, Adventure Landing or a putt-putt course and driving the go-karts. They're all tuned to the same. It's just you riding around chasing the car in front of you forever because you can't pass it because it's going the exact same speed you are. Toto Wolff is a badass, though. He straight up told Liberty that they would not be adhering to the new rules, and they would just pay the fine because they had the money. I like it. Going up to him saying like, we ain't gonna play by your rules. We gonna break the rules because we got enough money to pay your fines. That's how much money Mercedes got. They got Mercedes money. They don't care about the fines. Good job, Toto Wolff. There's also going to be a change with the car. The car is going to look different in 2018. They've added a thing called the Halo. And it's a bar that is going to cover the driver's head. I like the function it performs. I like what it's there for. But to me, it looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous and it's ugly. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. There is a damn bar running down the middle of the driver's line of sight. In fact, in the test, many of the drivers said they couldn't even see the apex of the corner because the bar was there. In fact, I thought, and this is just me, but I thought when they first talked about this, they were going to go with some type of canopy like a fighter jet. I mean, that would have been cool. Make the cars look like fighter jets without the wings. I mean, because they already kind of do. But put a canopy over there, that thing would look really awesome. Thing would look fast. Very aerodynamic. Because this thing doesn't look all that aerodynamic. Because they went with this bar thing. And it just, I don't like it. Again, I like what it's there for. I like the fact that they are doing something to protect the driver's head. Because that's important. But I just think it looks tacky. And it should be a canopy. Enough said on that. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Switching to NASCAR, though, not long now, my friends. And the boys will be back in Daytona for the Daytona 500, the Great American Race. And things are going to look a little different when they get there. As you know, the silly season tends to shake things up, and I have a list of changes here. And I've also posted this list on the NRN Facebook page as well, so go over there and join the Facebook page, please. And you can get all the news and stuff there too. So go and join the NRN Facebook page if you haven't already. Just go to Facebook, No Bull Racing Network, and, you know, like it and subscribe to it and all that stuff. But I do have just a couple of the changes here, and I won't go through I'll go through just the list of the things that will be different. Starting with Chase Elliott, he's going to be changing numbers. He'll be in the number 9. But I think the sponsorship's going to be the same. I think he'll be in the Napa car, some of the Hooters car. I like the Hooters car. I've always liked the Hooters car. Hooters belongs in NASCAR. It's fitting. It's just a fitting thing. When you walk into a Hooters or you think about Hooters, NASCAR is perfect. That's a great marketing. Eric Almirola will be in Danica Patrick's old ride at Stewart-Haas, so Eric Almirola will be in the 10. Ryan Blaney, who's going to become like my new favorite driver, is officially going to Penske to drive the number 12. You know, he's been driving for the Wood Brothers, which is a Penske affiliate. It's like Penske Light. And so now he's going full-on Penske to drive the number 12. Eric Jones will be in Matt Kenseth's old ride, the number 20. I mean, by the way, do you miss Matt Kenseth yet? Neither do I. Paul Menard will be in the number 21 for the Wood Brothers. You know, Ryan Blaney was giving up that seat. So Paul Menard will go over there to drive the 21, and I guess that means that beautiful red and white car will most likely have that ugly Menard puke yellow color. Ugliest car I've ever seen. William Byron will take over for the 24 car. William Byron is going to be a rookie out of the Xfinity Series, and that boy's going to win some races. Darrell Wallace Jr. will also make his rookie start in the Petty number 43. And Richard Petty is actually forming a new alliance with Richard Childress Racing. So the number 43 will no longer be a Ford, but a Chevy. So Richard Petty is joining forces with RCR. And I guess Petty, I tell you what, Petty needs RCR more than RCR needs Petty. I tell you that. Alex Bowman, who subbed for Dale Jr. back in 2016, he officially will take over the ride since Dale Jr. has retired and will no longer be racing in NASCAR. So Alex Bowman will be taking over that ride. He actually did very well in that car when he was subbing, so that's a good choice to put him there. And looking forward to what Alex Bowman does in 2018. And Casey Kane will be leaving Hendrick for the number 95 for the Levin Family Racing. Michael McDowell was formerly in that car last year and was having good runs. I remember him finishing in the top 20 and top 25. Good runs for him, and he improved. I saw a stat the other day that Michael McDowell set his best career average finish last year, and he did have some solid runs in that car. But Casey Kane will be taking over, and Michael McDowell, I think, is going to be driving for Front Row Motorsport, but I'm not sure of the car yet. And David Reagan's another one of those who'll be at Front Row, and not sure of his car yet. But Casey Kane, I'm hoping he does all right there at the 95. That's going to be a good place for him. He'll have a chance to be a leader at the 95. So hoping he does well in that. And those are all the silly season changes that you can expect in Daytona. That is right now where everybody is going and who's new and who's going to be in what when they get to Daytona. But thank you so much for listening and watching. I'm Justin with NRN, and I will see you next time on Shooting the Bull. Take it easy, guys.